Welcome back to our YouTube channel. In today's video, we've got another great Fairline for you, a Fairline Phantom 43. Now, these are a great example of a classic Fairline, 2 cabins, 2 en-suites, and I really like this model. Good friend of mine used to have one, and I've got a real affection for the Phantom 43. So keep watching. We're going to give you a full tour of this boat, including the engine room. So let's go. So you've seen my intro. Now we are on the port side of this Phantom, and what we're going to do is we're going to wander down this port side and just explain a few bits to you before we jump inside. So you can see here we're moored alongside and we're on the town quay here at Torquay, and this is actually quite a high pontoon, much higher than MDL. It's actually a wave screen as well as a pontoon. But you can see here the boat's got stainless rails, it's got the guardrail between the stainless, all very nice and safe. You've got lots of fenders here, all matching. I like to see matching fenders, so we've got matching fenders all the way along, and to me that just gives you a sense of, you know, the owner likes his boat, looks after it. The outside is it's a very, very grey afternoon here. It's November, it's very, very grey, but a gel coat, I can tell there's a nice shine to the gel coat. It looks clean. You've got these black sections here. These Phantoms always suffer a little bit with polish on this black bit, but you can get that off, or we can touch that bit in. But it's up together. You can just get a sense it's all nice and clean. You've got the engine vents here, just underneath the rubbing strip. The rubbing strip, again, you can see is all in good order. But enough of me rabbiting on, let's jump on and let's go and have a look in this aft cockpit. So I think probably the best way to do this, I grab the camera from Nathan, because it's always awkward jumping on boats together. Thanks, Nathan. Let's jump onto the bathing platform. So you can see here we've got 2 hatches. We've got bathing ladder port side, and then there's like a wet locker on the starboard side. You can also spot there you've got a passerelle. Unlikely to be used much in the UK, however it is useful for lifting on a tender onto the bathing platform if you wanted it to. You see it there, we've got the twin whip aerials, and then we've got the radar as well. So we'll jump down now, go straight into the aft cockpit. We've struggled to get the lights on here this afternoon, so you have to forgive us. However, you can see this is a good sized space, and where this really is better than a Phantom 40 and a Phantom 38 is this aft cockpit space. So there's that bit more distance between the doors and the seat, and that's really where you gain a lot of that extra room. Starboard side here, you've got fuel shut-offs, override for the fire extinguisher system as well, and then you've got this wraparound camper cover. So as I mentioned, it's a really grey day here today, but if you had the lights on, which I can't do, then a couple of directors' chairs out here, get their rugs out here, a couple of scats cushions. This is a really comfortable, cosy place to be. You've got access here to the Flybridge up these nice designed steps, and you've got hatch up there. You'll have already seen that in a minute, because I'm going to cut to that on a sunnier day. And you might spy some blue sky up there. Now, there's a chance we may have filmed this Flybridge shot before we actually do the inside of the boat, because we've taken the opportunity today with some good weather to actually just jump up here and take the video of the Flybridge, but we haven't done the video inside yet at this point. But obviously when you're watching this, that won't be quite correct. So what we want to show you is on this Phantom 43 is just how, well, it's how practical, how social this Flybridge is. As you can see here, you've got this stern mounted table which is on the long legs. There is an option to get short legs on that to make that into a sun pad, but then you've got upholstery all the way around there, which is all in good condition. You've got the backrest as well, which are padded, so it's a comfortable place to sit. You can spy that there on the Flybridge. You've got, the radar arch, you've got the radar, the Raymarine radar, you've got twin whip aerials, and then here, just slightly further forward, you've got your wet bar area. I might just ask Nathan just to lift up that for me. Just there, I think, just there. There you go. So you've got an electric grill plate up there and a sink, and then a bit of storage underneath, but works really well. So that's a great place to use if you're entertaining up here and you want to prepare some lunch for everybody, or obviously tidy up. So it's a really nice feature on board this Phantom. The other nice feature on the 43 is you've got these 3 helm seats forward. So you've got a central driving position here, giving you great visibility forward, and then you've got a co-pilot seat on the port side and a co-pilot seat on the starboard side. So that's a nice arrangement if you are cruising, and all 3 of these seats are well protected from that wind deflector there. So that wind deflector is actually quite tall. I don't know if you can get a sense of that in the video, but it's actually quite tall, which means that you do get a good level of wind deflection from it, giving these 3 chairs here a bit of protection. The helm itself is in good order. We've got a remote station here for the VHF, and then we've got a ST60 screen there, and an autopilot control unit as well. You can see like I say, the wheel is central, so if I just take a seat in the helm for a minute, you can see, oh, a bit of a wet cushion, so I better not sit down. But you can see there, you've got good visibility facing forward, and then you've got a repeater of the Raymarine E80 up here, and also all the relevant entrant instrumentation you would need. Just whilst the sun's out, let's have a quick look at the outside of the boat. The boat's been prepared nicely for sail. She's all nice and shiny, all nice and clean. You can see here we're positioned right sort of down in the corner here at the marina. It's actually quite windy today. I'm hoping this mic's doing its job with the fairy bonnet on, but it's probably blowing a good 20 knots out there. I think it's actually windier than they forecast today, but that's by the by. You can see Nathan, just give you a sense of scale, just how much room we've got here. Nathan's going to put the screen covers back on. But it's a really tidy Flybridge. No teak, but that's some ways good because it's obviously one less thing to look after. But yeah, all in all, very nice boat. So let's head downstairs and see what else we can find. So now we've had a good look around at the outside of the boat, it's about time I take you inside. Now, inside this boat, the interior, the saloon, I have to say, is a really fantastic area. I think back in 2000, this boat would have really stood out in the crowd. It would have been so far ahead, I think, in design terms. It still looks good. It still really, really works. The design of this boat is really nicely done. You've got lots of features. You've got your little cupboard here with your CD player. Don't see many CD players. Look at this. You've got your, actually keeping your CDs in there. But of course, you could update that if you wanted to. If you wanted to put a fusion unit in there, you could. Here we've got some storage. That would have originally been the TV in there. It's been taken out at some point. And then in there, you've got your saloon fridge. Now in this saloon, you've got this nice wraparound sofa section, straighten the table up. On the starboard side, got a lamp there as well. There is a fold-out sofa bed underneath that sofa, underneath that cushion. I don't know if you can spot in there. There's actually a fold-out bed in there. So you can easily sleep an additional couple in here, or someone want to sleep up here. These individual seats here actually pull across. So these can actually be pulled forward. Straighten that cushion on top. These can be pulled forward. So these act as additional stools on this side of the table, which is brilliant. Works really well if you're entertaining. Underneath the floor here, we've got access to the engines. So I'll just lift this up for you. As I mentioned earlier, this has got Volvo TMD 74s. So I'd lift that hatch up. You can see there, all looks in good order. We'll go and have a quick look in the engine room before we get off the boat. But looks good, and that's great for doing sort of more serious works. The one underneath my feet here comes up as well if you want it to. But for getting in there and doing some more major checks is nice, and that's in addition to that engine hatch covering the aft cockpit. Moving slightly further forward in the saloon here, we've got twin helm seats, got central helm on this boat, starboard side co-pilot seat, finished in leather. Bit of aging on top of the seats here, but to be expected. The helm itself is really nicely laid out, typical Fairline, everything you would expect. If you sit in the helm seat, you've got the throttles on the starboard side. Bow thruster, no stern thruster, but really nice shaft drive boat. We mentioned that earlier on, the benefits of a shaft drive boat. Obviously original wheel there, then we've got some updated nav gear. We've got a Raymarine E80 here that's been fitted at some point. One of my favourites, did my Yacht Masters exam using actually an E8120, great system, really, really straightforward. Down here on the starboard side, we've got the Fairline control panel. I really like the way these are broken down. So you've got 12 volt this side, 240 volt this side. So you've got battery charger, immersion heater, everything located on that side. We haven't actually got any shore power coming in at the moment, so I'll have to speak to the owner before I go to make sure that's correct. And then here you've got all your switch gear, wipers, trim tabs, autopilots, all nicely labelled. And then these are your remote battery isolators. So at the moment we've just got domestic on. If I just turn port and starboard engine batteries on as well, that's all done from there. Boat's got a generator, so you can see up here you've got your generator, Fisher Panda, start stop. Looks like that's been added at some point. You've got your Fairline owner's manual here, so you've got your original owner's manual. Can't do that one-handed, but that does open. So you've got your original Fairline owner's manual in there. It's nice to see. Tucked up at the helm. And I really like, and in fact if you've seen some of my other Fairline Phantom videos, you'll know that I always mention this. I think this is such a clever idea. So you've got this sort of discreet pull-out here, pulls down, and then that becomes a chart table. So if you are doing some chart work, which we should all do, as we know, that comes out, and that's a nice position. So your co-pilot can sit here, you've got a little footrest, and you can do your chart work underneath there. You've got good visibility out the starboard window, and you can keep the captain up to date of what's going on. Let's fold that back away. It says, I'm going to do it one-handed. There we go. Prever did go in. I could easily have cut that there, couldn't I? Like I say, throttles there, and then you've got some additional switchgear here. There are two windows, port and starboard, which are electric. Brave enough to open them, so it's port side, and then you've got a starboard window here, and this one here. I don't always open those, so I always worry late in the day. Oh, it's working fine. Look at that. Oh, perfect. And that's really nice for getting some ventilation in here. There is a bit of sort of ruching on that underneath section of windscreen. Could all be dealt with. Just want to point out in the video. Helm itself, we've got autopilot down here. So the boat's got autopilot, and you've got your ST60? Yeah, ST60 down there. So really nice helm, good visibility. And then it's actually accessed by these teak and holly steps there. Now if we just move further down now into the galley area, so if I just pan the camera around, the galley's located on the port side, couple of steps down to it. You can see it's actually, for size of boat, it's a good sized galley. So if I just come down here, you've got everything you would expect. You've got a twin electric hob, it refers back to a generator. You've got your accommodation microwave there, and then you've got good storage. So there's actually some storage in the floor here that we're going to find in there. Oh, some more shunt gear. And then you've got some top boxes that lock down here. You've got a double fridge, a double sink arrangement with a tap there, and then you've got a good sized fridge in here, which is nice and clean. And then you've got some additional storage up there as well. So provisioning, that would be quite good up here. Composite sort of type worktop with an inbuilt bin from a practicality perspective. Behind me, talking of practicality, there's another thing I want to point out, and that's this staircase. So this actually just unclips here. That spins round, and that gives you a huge storage area underneath the saloon flooring. Now, I have seen 43s with washing machines in there. I guess you could probably fit a dishwasher, but most people tend to just use it for storage. You've got some access hatches in the floor here, giving you access to bilges. Take your forward cabin first. So forward cabin, master cabin, central island bed. You can see here it's all been decluttered by the owners, which is great. It's always nice to video a boat like this for you, showing you as it is, the bones of the boat. We've got some nice curtains, they've all been updated at some point. Good sized portholes, deck light up here, and then you've got storage side of the bed. You've got a wardrobe here as well. And then this is an ensuite cabin, so let's turn the camera around here. You've got an ensuite cabin, so an ensuite here to this cabin. It's good size. You've got a pull round shower here, electric flush toilets, and then a nice counter recessed sink with a good sized porthole, to be fair, as well. And then again, there's some storage in those lockers either side of the porthole. Just coming slightly further aft now, so on the starboard side, you come to this next door. This is for day heads. So in here you've got a day heads, very similar to the master ensuite. I would actually say this is slightly bigger than the forward ensuite, but it's a good size, again with a pull round shower stall and the sink and the electric flush loo. And you'll spot there a mirror, and that links back into this next cabin I'm going to show you, so keep watching. And here we've got a starboard side twin guest cabin. Now this is a good size. You've got two double berths in here. Again, like I say, they were good size. You've got two portholes letting some natural light into here and ventilation. You've got some storage up there in the centre of the birds, and then you've got this huge good size wardrobe there. See a couple of life jackets just hanging up. And then, as I mentioned, you've got this door leading back into the ensuite. I'm opening this carefully because I don't know if I shut that other door. But you can see here, this is an ensuite cabin. So I really think this is a good setup with two cabins, two ensuites. If you've got guests on board, it works really well. Shut that door. We'll come back in a minute and turn all the lights off. We'll come back and check everything before we leave. I promised you that we were going to look in the engine room. So I'm going to ask my able colleague Nathan. We're going to get that amount out of the way and jump in the engine room. So keep watching. Right, so I've opened up the... the lights haven't come on. I've turned the lights on, but they haven't come on. So you can see this is your main access for engine room checks. You've got your generator seacocks, which are off down there. I've mentioned that to Nathan, so we need to be careful. But we've got both port and starboard engines. They look in good order. So the couplings all look good. Please contact us for more information on service history, that type of thing. We don't put it in the video because it's better to talk about it in person and have that information for you up to date when you inquire. So, a bit dark down there, I'm sorry, but there is good access actually forward here between the two central engines. So you can get in up there. I'm sat on top of what I think is the battery box. So you've got the battery box here, you've got some breakers here, and then battery chargers and exhaust systems. So, but it's all nicely done, and it all looks pretty up together. Like I say, I know the boat's been used. So yeah, hopefully that's interesting. Take you back out. So Nathan's out here, just been flying the drone, haven't you, Nathan?
I have indeed,
yeah.
Yep, get some drone shots.
Some drone shots. I think it's a good opportunity to wrap this video up out here. So hopefully you've seen, I've given across to you what I feel is a really good example of a Fairline. I think this particular boat shows well. I think it's in good order. There's not many of these on the market at the moment. They've what I call diluted over the years. They've all spread around. So we used to have 2 or 3 of these here in Torquay. We've sold a few of these in the past. We know the 43 well, It's a great family boat, like I say, twin cabins, 2 en suites, good storage, and it's on shaft drive. So you know what to do. Contact us below for boats of interest. Please do subscribe to our channel, we do appreciate it. Give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon.